Okay, for this video, I'm going to show you how to use Excel to help us do the calculations that we need to do our statistical analysis of our cubes. So I just made up a few numbers right here for different sizes. So instead of having to calculate this by hand, because we're going to do this for the whole class too, so instead of having to calculate all this data by hand, we can have Excel do it for us. For some of them, it's just probably easier to do like median and mode. We don't necessarily have to use Excel for that one, but we will for one of them at least. So for the average, we're going to do an equation. So anytime in Excel that we do an equation, we're going to start with the equal sign. And you can type in your own equation. So to do the average, you could just highlight all of these, divide by 3, and that would give you the average. But Excel has some pre-programmed equations. So if you start typing average, you'll see right here, this one is the average. So you do have to double click on it. If you just hit the enter key on the keyboard, it won't work. So if you double click on average, that's going to ask you which ones do you want an average. So we'll click on the first one, we'll hit shift, and then the last one, and it'll pick all of them. And then you can either hit enter or close the parenthesis up at the top, and it will average it for us. So we can drag those across, and it will automatically assume that we're trying to average the ones above it, just like we did here, and it's all done. For median, I actually don't know. Oh, there's a median. So the median is, of course, our middle number in a sequence of numbers. So if you highlight the numbers, it will do it for you. And then for mode, the one that occurs most often, I don't think that, oh, here we go. We want, so you can do mode single or mode multiple. So if you have multiple numbers that show up, then you'd want that one. So let's go ahead and do that one, and then we're going to again highlight our numbers, enter, and so this one comes up as nothing because there is no mode. There is nothing that comes up. But if we drag this across, we can see there is a mode for this one because we have two numbers that are repeating. Okay, so for percent error, let's go back to our slide here. So here's our equation for our percent error. So we're going to take the absolute value of what we measured minus the accepted value divided by the accepted value, and that would be multiplied times 100%. So for this box here, we're going to use our average for our measured value, because we have 3 measured values. We're just going to average them together, but we want to take the absolute value of this. So if we start typing absolute, so it turns the absolute value number, that's the one we want, and then we're going to use our average, and then we're going to subtract that from our accepted value. And this was supposed to be a 0.5 centimeter box, so 0.5 is our accepted value. And then we're going to close that parenthesis. But then we're going to divide this. So here's the division symbol. We're going to divide this by the accepted value, which was 0.5. And then we're going to multiply this whole thing times 100. And this will tell you what percent you're off. And because our average is the expected, we're 0% off. And then, of course, we could do it again just by clicking it over. And we can see here we're off by 50%, which that seems a little high. I'll have to go back and look at that one.